Welcome to I Love Asian Dramas. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel to get notified when new videos are uploaded. The title of this Chinese historical romance drama is Love Trap from iQIYI with 24 episodes. The story unfolds during an auction buzzing with excitement among affluent men. Jiang Yao disguises herself as the last candidate, driven by her mission to procure medicine for her comrades. However, she unexpectedly runs into the young marshal Yanzhou, who ends up winning her in the bidding. Yanzhou recognizes her and pays her no kindness. Haunted by memories of the past, Jiang Yao recalls how she betrayed Yanzhou's trust, leaving her feeling guilty and remorseful. This history explains Yanzhou's cold demeanor towards her. Desperate, Jiang Yao asks him for the medicine, but Yanzhou stipulates that she must obey all his commands in exchange. Reluctantly, she signs a contract binding her to his terms. Miss Zhou Yumian arrives at the Qi mansion, ready for her engagement with Yanzhou. Meanwhile, Li Wenshan informs Jiang Yao that the medicine will be delivered in 3 days, barring any complications, and she feels a surge of relief upon hearing this. However, when Yanzhou discovers that Jiang Yao is engaged to Du Wenlan, his mood darkens. Governor Du announces his son's engagement to the guests, prompting smiles from the happy couple. It soon becomes clear that Du Wenlan is Yanzhou's nephew, who is surprisingly friendly towards him. As Wenlan introduces Yanzhou and Jiang Yao, he remains blissfully unaware that they share a complicated history. Yanzhou then insists that Jiang Yao cancel her engagement. She has no choice but to comply, or else face the consequences of breaking their agreement. Wenshan alerted Jiang Yao to the fact that their comrade was in grave danger due to a bomb discovered on the ship. This was the consequence Yanzhou had mentioned to Jiang Yao. To thwart Yanzhou's sinister plans, Jiang Yao decided to break off her engagement with Wenlan. She hurried to Yanzhou, informing him that she had followed his instructions and asked him to show mercy to her comrades. Standing outside his mansion in the cold, snowy weather, she pleaded for Yanzhou's compassion. Seeing Jiang Yao suffering in the frigid air, Yumian rushed to help her. However, Jiang Yao was resolute in her self-imposed punishment, insisting she would endure until Yanzhou granted her request. By morning, Yanzhou finally relented. Wenshan soon informed Jiang Yao that the medicine had been successfully offloaded from the ship. Meanwhile, Governor Du was livid over the cancellation of his son's engagement. Thankfully, Wenlan stepped in to support Jiang Yao's reasoning for the decision. However, Governor Du remained suspicious and ordered his subordinate to keep a close watch on Jiang Yao. To shield her from Governor Du's scrutiny, Yanzhou secretly took Jiang Yao to a hidden location. In a fit of jealousy, he discarded Jiang Yao's cherished necklace, which sent her searching for it in the cold. Misinterpreting her connection with Wenlan, Yanzhou impulsively kissed Jiang Yao, but this only upset her further. It became clear that Yanzhou and Jiang Yao had once been deeply in love, their past lingering between them. Jinan later shared insights with Jiang Yao about Yanzhou's past suffering, prompting her to reflect on their history. Determined to uncover evidence linking Yanzhou to the enemy's dealings, she attempted to open his vault. Although she was caught, she quickly devised an excuse, claiming she was just making him soup. However, Yanzhou saw through her alibi, aware of her intentions, knowing all too well how betrayal had hurt him before. Yumian's maid discovered the lost token, which turned out to be the ring that Yanzhou had gifted to Jiang Yao. Yanzhou had planned to buy presents for everyone, but he reserved special sweets just for Jiang Yao. Meanwhile, Yumian and her maid found themselves lost and were confronted by some unknown men. Fortunately, Wenlan came to their rescue. Wenlan helped them find their way back home. Governor Du was aware of Jiang Yao's whereabouts and harbored sinister intentions regarding Yanzhou, suspecting him of dealing with the Japanese. Touched by how much Jiang Yao cherished the ring, Yanzhou kissed her, believing that her feelings for him ran deep. However, Yanzhou soon caught Jiang Yao rummaging through his belongings, which led him to feel betrayed once more. Just then, Governor Du showed up at the mansion. To defuse the tension, Jiang Yao suggested that she and Yanzhou pretend to be intimate, and he immediately agreed. When Governor Du walked in on them, his fury grew, leading to a confrontation that resulted in Jiang Yao getting injured. She then revealed to Yanzhou that she had worn the ring he gave her for the past 5 years, expressing her unwavering affection. This realization prompted Yanzhou to kiss her again. Later, Jiang Yao confided in Wenshan, expressing her belief in Yanzhou's innocence regarding any collaboration with the Japanese. Wenshan informed her that Yamai Taichi would soon arrive for negotiations concerning the railway project. Yanzhou tried to call Jiang Yao at her home, but unbeknownst to him, her mother answered instead. When she told Yanzhou that her daughter was out on a date with her boyfriend, jealousy flared up inside him. Determined to intervene, Yanzhou disrupted Jiang Yao's date with Wenlan, leaving Wenlan with no choice but to walk away. Yumian's drink was spiked, causing her to behave inappropriately. Fortunately, Wenlan was there to intervene. Wenshan informed Jiang Yao that their organization intended to eliminate Yanzhou, suggesting that if she couldn't carry out the mission, someone else would. Reluctantly, Jiang Yao accepted the task. Yanzhou learned from one of his subordinates about Jiang Yao's mission, which put him on high alert. Looking to make amends for the previous night, Yamian wanted to compensate Wenlan, but he brushed her off, saying nothing had happened between them. Yanzhou received a letter from Jiang Yao requesting a meeting. His friends cautioned him that she might attempt to carry out her mission during this encounter, yet he decided to meet her anyway. They chose the evergreen tree as their meeting place, where they tied a unity knot, a symbol signifying that lovers would ultimately unite. Meanwhile, Wenlan arrested those who had harassed Yamian, which only deepened her fondness for him. Jiang Yao took Yanzhou to an orphanage where the children's parents were lost on the battlefield. She warned him that if the Japanese invaded, they could end up like those children, without a home. Yanzhou then shared confidential information about the imminent arrival of Yamai Taichi. Jiang Yao and her group prepared to eliminate Yamai Taichi upon his arrival, but their plans faltered when Yanzhou intervened, saving him. In gratitude, Yamai Taichi promised Yanzhou a considerable reward. Later, Jiang Yao wanted to confront Yamai Taichi with the intent to terminate him, but Yanzhou once again stepped in to stop her. At that moment, Jiang Yao realized she had been manipulated by Yanzhou, who confessed to colluding with the Japanese. This revelation left Jiang Yao feeling betrayed. Meanwhile, Governor Du fainted, overwhelmed by the betrayal from Yanzhou. As a result of the alliance between Yanzhou and Yamai Taichi, Governor Du's finances and connections began to deteriorate. Yamian meets Wenlan at a restaurant and shares that she will soon be leaving for Jiangbei. Although Wenlan bought flowers for her, he deliberately gave them to another woman, thinking Yamian would soon be her aunt. This left Yamian feeling disappointed. Meanwhile, Jiang Yao visits an orphanage and is flustered to discover that Yanzhou is there, as he donates a significant amount of food for the children. Despite still being angry at him for being a traitor, Jiang Yao doesn't confront him, knowing he realizes her disdain after she agreed to eliminate him through the Flying Bird Society. When Jiang Yao attempts to return the ring to Yanzhou, her plans are interrupted by an unexpected assassination attempt. Thankfully, Yanzhou saves her, and on the train, she finally manages to return the ring. Yanzhou's subordinate informs him that Governor Du's men are behind the ambush, and Yanzhou instructs his subordinate to alert the Japanese bank about Governor Du's financial crisis and potential rebellion. Governor Du's subordinate starts suspecting Jiang Yao's true identity, reporting that she is no ordinary teacher and might be connected with the Flying Bird Society. Soon, they receive a call from the Japanese bank demanding repayment of loans, enraging Governor Du at Yanzhou. At a party, Yamian clarifies to Wenlan that she is not marrying Yanzhou and will not become his aunt. Wenlan confesses that the flowers were meant for her but ended up going to his friend because he thought she was about to become his uncle's fiancée, teasing Yamian about her jealousy. Jiang Yao approaches Yamai Taichi with the intent to eliminate him, but Yanzhou arrives just in time to stop her. He carries her away to prevent her from ruining his plans. However, Jiang Yao is soon kidnapped by Governor Du, prompting Yanzhou to rush to her rescue. Outside, Yanzhou's subordinates and Jiang Yao's comrades seek ways to save them. Fortunately, Wenlan offers to help track them down. Both Yanzhou and Jiang Yao endure the bitter cold. Wenlan proposes a clever ruse to Yanzhou's men and Jiang Yao's comrades to pretend they've captured him in a bid to secure Yanzhou and Jiang Yao's release. Wenlan's plan works. In exchange for his son's freedom, Governor Du agrees to release Yanzhou and Jiang Yao. However, Wenlan is shocked when his father's car suddenly explodes. Jiang Yao warns Wenshan not to act rashly regarding Yanzhou and Yamai, believing their alliance is more complex than it appears. Grieving the loss of his father, Wenlan struggles to cope. Meanwhile, bank representatives gather outside Governor Du's mansion, demanding payment for his loans, causing chaos. Fortunately, Yamian steps in, promising to handle the situation, but Yanzhou ultimately covers the debts. Yamian reassures Wenlan that she will always stand by his side. Jiang Yao invites Yanzhou to a temple fair, and he happily accepts. At the event, the children are joyous, and Yanzhou and Jiang Yao share a sweet moment together. Jiang Yao expresses her concern about a suspicious railway map she found, hinting it suggests he's attempting to drain Japanese resources. Yanzhou praises her sharp mind, acknowledging her suspicions. He foresees the possibility of an inevitable battle, to which Jiang Yao responds that she will always stand by him. After dropping Jiang Yao off at home, their sweet goodbye is interrupted by her mother, who disapproves of Yanzhou. Secretly, Yanzhou climbs onto Jiang Yao's terrace to return the ring, leaving her delighted. He then shares a goodbye kiss. Meanwhile, Yamai receives a letter from someone named Du, revealing that Yanzhou and Jiang Yao are linked to the Flying Bird Society, igniting his anger. Yamai confronts Yanzhou, demanding confirmation of his non-affiliation with the society. To prove his loyalty, Yamai pressures Yanzhou to eliminate Jiang Yao, which Yanzhou agrees to do. Eventually, they finalize a contract with Yamai for the railroad project. Jinan is taken aback to see Jiang Yao, mistakenly believing she had passed away. Jiang Yao explains how they staged her death to convince Yamai. The couple plans to go to Jianbei, where Wenlan announces his intention to propose to Yamian. As anticipated, the railroad project fails, prompting the Japanese to hunt Yanzhou. However, he manages to escape before they can catch him. 5 years later, Yanzhou and Jiang Yao have a son named Xingho. The little boy complains about his mother's cooking, but is thrilled with a visit from Wenlan and Yamian. The series wraps up on a warm note as the family enjoys each other's company. Hello! Feel free to check out another video or subscribe to my channel, and if you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and drop a comment below. Thanks a bunch for tuning in.